To be or not to be, that is the question. That's really a question of should I live or should I die? I just realized that life hurt. And the more that life hurt, the more I thought, there is something that can stop this pain, and that is death. My dad is a professor of physics at Stanford University, so education was so important to our family. And as a result, I grew up reading all the time. One of the things I loved to read was Greek mythology. And you know, if you read enough of this Greek mythology, you see that it's these gods like Zeus who see these earth women that they're attracted to, and they have children with them. All the great heroes of Greek mythology, Hercules and Perseus and Theseus, they're all these half man, half gods. You know, honestly, that's kind of the way Jesus came across to me. There's this God and he finds this Mary, and they have a child, and it's Jesus, the Son of God. I mean, it just came across as very not monotheistic and not Jewish at all. My grandfather exchanged letters with his family in Austria back and forth until one day the letters stopped. And it was at that point that he knew that his family had been interned in concentration camps and that he would never see them again. Because of that experience, it was so important for me and for all my family to understand who we were as Jewish people. I grew up in the synagogue, I studied to read the Torah, and I ended up reading every week after my bar mitzvah. It influenced everything about how I grew up. My bubby, my grandmother, she was an amazing, loving woman, and you just knew her love when you were around her, and everybody loved her too. And one day when I was 10, she was hit by a car and killed. And it was as if life stopped. We didn't know what made sense anymore. We didn't know what was supposed to happen in the world because she was dead, and we buried her. And she went ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and I thought, the worms get her now? Is there anything else? What else is there? It was so overwhelming, and it just took me to a very dark place, and I felt so empty. I began to get really depressed, and I began to spiral down further and further. Over time, during that struggle, it just got harder and harder for me to go on living. And one night I went for a walk, and I decided, when I get home, I'm going to end my life. I don't want to fight this pain anymore. I was on my way home, almost to my house, when I saw a friend of mine had parked her car across the street. And as I got to my driveway, I realized it was my friend Kim. Out of the blue, she was at my house waiting for me. I had no idea why. And as she greeted me, I said, it's really not hello, it's goodbye. And she asked me what I meant, and I said, because Kim, I'm tired of this pain. I'm going to end my life. Well, Kim asked me if she could share with me about what she believed about Jesus. And I thought, oh, here it comes. But you know, honestly, it seemed really rude to tell her that I'd rather kill myself than hear what she believed. And I wasn't that kind of person, so I said, okay, Kim, tell me. Well, as Kim began to share with me, I was riveted. She was talking about the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and I was astounded and amazed. And the more she spoke, it was like fireworks were going off in my mind, answering all these questions I didn't even know I had. We talked for hours and hours about redemption and purpose and meaning and God. I don't even remember everything we talked about, but it was mind-blowing. It got so late and I was so tired that even though I was amazed by everything we were talking about, I just needed a break. So I said, Kim, look, I can't think anymore, but I promise you, I won't kill myself before we talk again. I need to go to bed. The next 2 days, all these thoughts kept going through my mind again and again. Is this about Jesus true? Is it not true? Is this worth living for? Is the pain too great? Should I die? And all of a sudden, I'm caught off guard. It's like this smoke is pouring in underneath my door. It was like a cloud. It was obscure. I couldn't see, but it was coming and closing in on me. And it was like an aura around me that was shrinking. And it was getting smaller and smaller. And I realized that it was simply evil. And I called out in that moment to Jesus, "Save me." And suddenly the cloud receded and it just backed away as the same way it came, funneled out, went under the door and was gone. And all that I was left with was peace and the light in the room. Everything in my life changed from that point forward. Shortly after that, I borrowed Kim's Bible because I'd never seen a New Testament before. I guess I thought it was going to be something weird like out of the Greek mythology that I'd been reading, but actually it seemed just like the Bible I knew. It was Yeshua. He was talking to all the people right there in Israel, his Jewish brothers and sisters, and he was teaching them from the Torah. And I didn't want to kill myself anymore because I had an answer to the pain. And I was able to keep moving forward as I sorted my life out and found meaning and purpose with Jesus.